Dear recruits, here, your life applications officer. Want to just speak to you about our country and you right now. The state that we're in. And why I'm so blessed. Why I'm so blessed to not be a part of the rising movement. You know, why I'm so glad that I'm not a part of the rising movement. Imagine yourself going to a room or through a house actually, and there's several rooms in that house. And the meeting is back in this room. So you go in this room and you see this couple arguing with their kids. You go in this room, there's a teenage girl and her boyfriend making out. They're just being kids. Let's keep moving. You go in the next room, these guys are plugging up to play band music. Okay. You go in the next room, this guy's sitting there in a big chair, talking to this younger dude, about what he thinks about the world in general, while he's, you go in the next room, there's a couple people there getting high, smoking marijuana, you're like, open the window, man, But you go through all these rooms and then you go into the meeting in the back. And there's a table there and there's chairs there and there's, a Keurig machine back there where you can make coffee. And you're all going to sit there and you're going to have this meeting. Meanwhile, behind you, there's every kind of nonsense that you just walk past. And though you're in this back room and you're trying to concentrate on what your meeting is about, you're kind of distracted by the things that you just walk past. You're kind of distracted, okay? And that's the way I see life going on right now, for me. Nobody cares if we're going in the right direction. Nobody cares if we got it right. Nobody cares about behind the money, behind the beauty, okay? There's things that are important in this world, like money. Number one most important thing in this world is money. What's the second most important thing in this world? What's the second most important thing? Success and beauty. Okay? Success, beauty, namely the beauty of a woman. I work at a job now where, I watch women have that day in their life, whether it be a wedding or whether it be something that happens before college graduation, or whether it be, something that, happens for the faculty of a job when they go out to celebrate, some kind of celebration, a formality turns into drunkenness. And a lot of times, like last night, there were some, I witnessed some people coming from another state coming into Pittsburgh. They don't understand. There are times here in Pittsburgh when young girls don't want to be outside, okay, walking the street in those outfits. They don't want to be caught somewhere drunk, okay, by themselves. And it's going to take more than just a boyfriend or another male friend to be with them. It's going to take a gang to protect this girl if she gets drunk and she's got nerve to be out on the dark streets. Okay? People don't think about this stuff. People don't think about what goes on behind our personalities and our anger, the different levels of emotion that we have and where that can lead to. People tell me stories of where, some guy that's 500 pounds, me being in security in that, some guy that's like, 400 or 500 pounds walks into a building and gets angry and just starts tearing the place up because he can't get what he wants on that day. At that particular moment, he's going to snap and he's willing to beat you in front of children. He's willing to say anything in front of children. He's willing to hurt somebody. He doesn't care if, somebody's wife or, he doesn't care that these employees have to go home to their families, and he doesn't care that these people have to follow the rules just like they expect him to follow the rules. In order for a company to be ran, you got to have rules and policies. But yet he don't care about that. He just wants to hurt somebody. He just wants to lose himself. And you think this is just one of them things. No, it's not. It's not just one of them things. And every day of our lives, we do things. For example, the way we eat in this country. And I'm using this to express spiritual terms, but the way we eat in this country, it's too late once you get cancer. It's too late once you get level 3 diabetes. It's too late once your brain is fried from, your diet or from your intake of drugs. It's too late once you get lung cancer from smoking. It's just too late. It's too late. You've already lost. Now, as a Christian, the church is full of people that lost. Church is full of people that have already lost. And their gain is to take that loss and find themselves in Christ, Jesus. And here's the other thing. See how I'm speaking through this video and I just now said the word Christ. That is so common in the world today. And I remember talking to somebody the other day, and we were talking and the word Christ just rolled out of my mouth at the end of a conversation. And I can tell the guy's thinking like, what the heck does that have to do with the price of tea in China? But this is the thing. The world is smaller than you think. The world is indeed smaller than you think. I mean, everybody is suffering what everybody suffers. Everybody is suffering from the same group of people that are making everybody suffer all around the globe. Everybody is prone to die, to get sick, to be cheated on in some kind of way or another. No woman is beautiful enough that she can't be cheated on, stabbed in the back. No woman can be feminist enough that she can't be cheated on or stabbed in the back or tricked or fooled, manipulated. Okay? Where a man puts himself in charge and controls her by his own abilities that are above hers. Okay? Whether it be his manful abilities or whether it be political or whether it be spiritual or whatever it may be, no woman, just like no man, for example, is exempt from being overpowered and beaten and put in your place, or put in a place that's not yours, actually. Put in the most humiliating place. It happens every day with women that are raped. It happens every day with women who allow themselves to take on jobs that are all about, their sex appeal or their, or the sex movement, so to speak. Um, you know, and then you got this group of people out there, and I just done videos about, street people and certified citizens, and that's what the world is made up of. And there's people out there that no matter how much they embarrass themselves, no matter how many times they get arrested, no matter how many times they cause somebody else pain and suffering and make enemies around, the community against themselves, they'll never ever change. And we got this court system now. Let me go to Brandon Tatum. I just got done watching a video about him. He's talking about the whole Rittenhouse thing. He's getting all emotional about the Rittenhouse thing. Let me look, man. He thinks it's complicated why black folks are acting like this. And, look, everything to me is a sign of the times. And out of everything I say about black folks, let me say this. Okay? We black people are victims of a society that uses us. There's only two. You have people who use you, and you have people that are afraid of you and will do anything. There's only two. Nobody likes us. You have people that are using you for their own agenda, black folks. And I'm saying this to everybody from family members, from my closest blood relatives, all the way to, people in Joe Biden's cabinet, if there's any black folks in his cabinet, okay? Look, I'm telling you, you're being used. okay? Or you're being spaced out. You're being singled out as, a touchy subject. You're either being used, and they do it in television every day I watch. We're still, every storyline, every good movie is about one black person. One black person being part of the team. There is no movies out there where, most of the majorities are black and you got a couple white people in there who are just as good as, or just, no, it's always, one black person or two black people in the entire movie or the entire TV series, okay? The entire 20 seasons or whatever that make the show stand out. Just like, for example, NCIS Los Angeles stands out because of, LL Cool J, okay? You got series which I believe it's over if I'm correct, like Hawaii Five-0 and the two Asian people in the film in the series, they left out, okay, because they weren't getting paid as the other people, as all the Caucasians in the or white people, whichever way you want to present it. They weren't getting paid what they were getting paid, and then they got replaced by what? A dude that looks like he's Samoan, and a girl that looks like she's half Asian and half white, or half Asian and half Samoan, or whatever. Okay. If I read up on them, I might find out that they were born and raised in Hawaii and then they moved on to start their career or whatever. But the thing is, Hawaii is about Hawaiian people. And this is what the Hawaiians are complaining about. I'm just using this as an example. I'm not getting off the subject. I'm using this as an example. This is what the Hawaiians are complaining about. Hawaii is about Hawaiians. But yet, what do you see? Okay? You see white people. You see Japanese people. You see multi-Asian colonies. Everything but Hawaiians. Okay? But then on top of that, you have these Spanish colonies who are causing violence in a place like that. And you got these Asian colonies, Asian gangs and that, like the Yakuza. I didn't know the Yakuza was a real thing. I thought it was just something in movies. Okay, it's real. Okay. They cause problems for rich people in a place like Hawaii. I'm just using this as an example of how the world keeps turning around in a ball and we just keep going right back. You think you're going somewhere and then you're coming right around to boom. I could leave Pittsburgh and move to another city and state. And I might better myself at one point, but I'm still on that ball. I'm still going to, you go from one job to another job. You go from one type of BS to another type of BS, but it's still BS. There's still BS, and there's still a large amount of BS that everybody has to deal with. And then how do we deal with it? We deal with it by pleasure. We deal with it by, our sexual activity behind closed doors, or after work. We deal with it by drinking and smoking, whether it be marijuana or cigars, cigarettes, or whatever it may be. And a lot of y'all that might be watching this are thinking, this dude makes a big deal out of nothing. Really? This dude, he's so out there. But look, I thank God that I was brought up Not just by my mother, because my mother died when I was 16 years old. She died right before right around my 16th birthday. I'm so glad that God has brought me, up. And when I mention Jesus camp or church camp, even to my own pastor, it's like, here we go. But this is the thing. Something happened to me. Oh yeah, I know my people, these atheists, they're never Christians, people that watch my channel. Oh, they're thinking, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I know what happened, Cruz. You fell off the edge of the night. You fell and hit your head. Now you want to make a YouTube video about it. Look, honestly, seriously, something very spiritual happened to me. That even a lot of my best friends that I grew up with, that I look up to, and I'm talking white and black, you name it, they cannot understand it. They don't get it any more than you do. But God showed me that there's only one door. It's funny how Jesus said he is the door. He said things like he's the bread of life. He said things like, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And he said things. He quoted in scripture that the sheep hear his voice. Anybody that comes after the sheep is a hireling. In other words, a hitman to control for somebody else. Anybody else that goes after the sheep and tries to help the sheep other than Christ is a hireling. In other words, a better word would be a hitman or a man of agenda for somebody else. Okay? And I know some of y'all are so busy worried about what camera I'm using to do this video. I don't make money off of YouTube, and I really don't have a plan to make money off of YouTube. If I had the time, place, and essentials, okay, I'd be spending so much time with that. You probably wouldn't see me on YouTube so much, but because I really don't care about all that, you see me on YouTube a lot. Every video would be perfect. It'd be, if I had the essentials, it's amazing what I would do with those essentials. Like, I would go around YouTube, and probably do like 3, 4, 5 videos a day. Who knows? Or I would probably spend more time on my music channel, or spend more time on my art channel, or my preaching channel. And this is not it. But you don't want to go there, because me making better videos instead of me just spitting, as someone would say, like I'm doing here, that excludes you. You would not really be on my channel. You would not be one of my subscribers. You would not be focusing on my channel so much if I was not just spitting. If I was really doing better videos, you wouldn't waste your time. You're wasting your time because you think that I have a weakness that you can crack, or that you think I have a weakness that makes you stronger. No, I have a weakness. And if I really have a weakness, then you coming here to do anything other than encourage me makes you weak. Because if I have a weakness, I'm weak on purpose. Okay? I don't really care about trying to impress you with perfect videos, and I don't really care about making money off of YouTube, because nothing I'm saying is in agreement with YouTube. YouTube is not going to pay me to criticize everybody around me except myself, so to speak. YouTube is not also gonna is also not going to pay me for criticizing their own agenda. Okay. And see, we look at all this news and that on YouTube. We got Biden news. We got Biden and Riddle House news over here. And I agree with you that why is everything a Democratic or Republican issue? But we got Rittenhouse and Biden over here. That's the way everybody's putting it. Like Rittenhouse and Biden, the whole case is all over here in the Democratic. And then we got these Republicans over here. We got my man Branham Tatum, okay, over here fussing and crying about it, okay? Then we got people like DeRoy Cruz that thinks he's on to something and he ain't on a squat, but actually I am on to something. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. And I've done it at a funeral where I walked in and I recognized some people in the room. And I did not go up to see the body in the casket. I did not look at the guest list. I did not look at the sign of the exact name of who the wake was for. I just walked in and I saw somebody that I knew, and we started talking. And I've been there for 10, 15 minutes before I walked up to the body and looked at the sign and looked at the people that came in behind me and realized this is not the body of the person that I've come to see. I'm in the wrong parlor. And the person that I saw, that I started having a conversation with, she didn't care to talk about the person in the casket. She knew both people in both rooms. Well, actually, usually there's like 4 rooms in a, and when I did this, I think there was 3 or 4 bodies at that funeral home, but that were being viewed. But she was visiting 2 of them. That one and the one next door to it. She was friends of both families. She was friends of both members, in the casket. And she did not care to discuss funeral issues with me when I walked in and saw her and we began to talk. We were back there BSing, not talking about what we were there for and what happened. I've been there 15, 20 minutes before I walked up and realized, hold up. This is not the body. Turned around and walked in the other room. I said, hey, all this. I said to her, I says, did you, I didn't know that, because I saw you, I went straight to you, And she said, yeah, I know both. And that's very symbolic of the way we are in the world today. How we get things wrong. And we get so into ourselves and into our, our game. And I've never been the kind of person. Here's another thing I want to say. I've never been the kind of person that looks up to people and has any worship for them. One thing that offended me one time was I went to a Jesse Dixon concert, and I was in line, and people were trying to get to Jesse Dixon, and I was joking around with somebody in the line about it. I went up there to shake hands with Jesse Dixon. I didn't want his autograph. I didn't really feel like I needed prayer, but when I got up there, boy, did they pray for me. They thought there was a demon in me because I dared say a joke about autographs in the line, because there were people there that were like, oh, God, oh my God, I'm going to meet Jesse Dixon. I just wanted to shake the brother's hand because I could, not because I needed. And I went up there for prayer. I went up there to shake Jesse Dixon's hand, and I went up there and I grabbed his hand, and they wanted to pray for me because they felt something was wrong with me, because, I wasn't coming up there for prayer, but I pray at my own church 3 days a week. I mean, I'm a church going man. I'm a Christian. Why am I in the back of the line? And because I'm teasing somebody in the back of the line, all of a sudden I have a demon, and they want to lay hands on me and get that demon out of me or something. And when I went up there to shake Jesse Dixon's hand, the only person that was smiling, I believe it was a fake smile with Jesse Dixon, because he was thinking that there's something wrong with me too. That I'm not all sacred about this line to shake this man's hand. We're just going up there and shake his hand on the way out the door. The concert's over, But other people were real religious about it. And they had a little attitude about it because they were religious about it. And, it's the same way in the secular world. I've seen people get arrested for trying to get too close to the Steelers. Okay? The only thing you can do to show your interest in the Steelers is buy tickets and go to games. That's it. You showing up to personally ask, you showing up in a place where the Steelers clearly told people, we don't want any guests. We don't want the fans. The fans can get with us after the game. But right now, our focus is on our meetings and the games and, the advertising and the television set. The only people that are going to come to these people are the people that are on the news stations that are going to address them for the 11 o'clock news or whatever. But I've seen people get arrested for trying to take a picture of a football, player, their favorite football player, when he clearly said, please don't take my picture. Please, I will connect with my fans after the game. I promise. What kind of sick unearthliness are you into, man, that you can't respect that? Oh, I'm your fan, but I don't respect you when you say, don't take my picture. I don't respect you. I don't respect you enough to not put my hands on your car. I don't respect you enough, okay, to not have police activity show up over my dumb behind. You know what I mean? Like, what happens if I hug a Steeler? What happens if a Steeler kissed me in the mouth? Do I all of a sudden become saved? and all my sins are gone? Do I all of a sudden am I endoused to be, 30 years younger and play football now? I'm going to be a Pittsburgh Steeler? What happens if I got something here in my house with somebody's autograph on it? Does that autograph become me being rich? And then we do dumb stuff like, if you get an autographed copy of a guitar, that guitar is worth millions. If you get an autographed copy of anything, a basketball, it could be worth a lot of money. That's idolatry. That's worship of materialism. And I'm closing, but that's idolatry. And I think the number one problem we have in America today is idolatry. But, in closing, it's not my business even to try and control, even if I could, the way people live their lives. But it is my business to express myself. And it's funny, I was just watching a Steve Vai video with my man Music Is Win. I was watching that channel. Steve Vai is obviously very religious. And he went to connecting the guitar to religion, to the galaxies, to self-esteem and how to find your inner expression and all this kind of stuff. I mean, he really just went out there into left orbit, like wow, man, like, okay. And I'm sitting there thinking he's too religious. But you know what? If I was to talk about gays or talk about Jesus, he would probably think I'm too religious. Not only that, I'm a bigot and I'm an idiot. Okay? But here's the thing. Which one of us is right? Which one of us is right? Our inner expressionism, Mr. Vai, comes from God. You wouldn't be the great guitar player you are today, Mr. Vai, without God. You left him out of the conversation. All the credit of your so-called inner expressionism coming out in every and you made an understatement when you said that everybody, no matter what they play, is important. No, it's not. Because music is a law. Music is a law. There is the law of music. There's 12 notes in the musical alphabet. Okay? There's 12 notes. Okay? There is C to a C. Yeah, C to a C. An octave higher would be the C scale or the D scale. D from D bottom to D top. D treble to D clef, whatever. That'd be another scale, okay? And so on and so on. And then there's the law between, there's the half steps, like from E to F. No sharp in between. From B to C, no sharp in between. These are laws. Now, you could break those laws just a pinch. And yes, they would make music sound really exotic and make it sound interesting if you bend them rules just a pinch. But somebody that's a musical genius could turn around and show you that you really didn't break those laws. You just kind of like interpret them different, okay? But this is the thing, in closing. Everything, Mr. Vai, has law. Music is law. So I could go out there and I could sing a song. I remember a girl in my favorite coffee house in my old home part of town that I lived for 30 years at. Okay. This girl got up to sing. She carried her own. And we understood what she was singing or what she was trying to sing. But nobody is going to put her on a record. The day that she would try and put that on a record, she would be mocked and laughed at and escorted off the property. Okay? But we respected the fact that she was self-expressionizing her faith in the Lord Jesus when she sang that song. She's not going to be on any Christian albums, though. But we cried when she sang it because she was expressing her love for Jesus. It wasn't about professionalism or being on an album. She understood that. But she sang that song from her heart way more than anybody you ever know in the music industry would ever do. She sang that song from her heart. It was about her relationship with Christ, not her trying to get on a record. I don't believe that girl ever sang again after that. Not in public anyway. But we were so glad she sang it. And right before she got done, we all began to cry. Because she was in her zone, with the Lord. Okay. And the world is smaller than you think. It's you think that we got all these options and the world's a big place. You can't judge. That's bullcrap. You can judge. You know in your instinct, in your conscience, that a lot of things aren't right. But you get upset when somebody actually says it. That's just like, you can't say that. Why can't we say that? Why can't we call anything wrong or right anymore? The world didn't get larger. The world, legalizing marijuana, if that's what you're trying to do, doesn't make the world a bigger place. Okay? Telling yourself that you don't know whether you're a man or a woman, that you can be a man or a woman, okay, in a woman or a man's body. Okay? Telling yourself that there's more than two genders doesn't make the world a bigger place. It doesn't. It does not make the world a bigger place. It doesn't. The only thing that we can do, and God designed it in all of us, and even though I'm at Paul and I'm upset and I'm even angry at God as to why am I so blessed to understand, but the world just goes on, life goes on, life goes on, life goes on, life goes on, and nobody stops to read the signs. Nobody stops this. Shh. What's that? Listen to the noises. Nobody stops to smell and see. Think. Nobody uses their five senses. We just run. It's like it's like going on vacation. Oh, I'm going on vacation, and you get in a sports car and you take off, and you're going so fast down the highway. You don't stop to enjoy the mountains. You don't stop to enjoy the skyline. You don't stop to enjoy anything. It's like every day we go to work And we're in a rush to get home. We're in a rush to get to work, and we're in a rush to get home. And we're in traffic with an attitude. We never enjoy the tall buildings of the city anymore. We never enjoy who's up this early, the smell of biscuits. You know what I mean? The smell of McDonald's even. The smell of, bacon and eggs cooking for breakfast. We don't enjoy it. We're so one-minded. So who has a closed mind here? The Christian or the people that don't know how to enjoy life because they're so busy growing old ungracefully? I believe I enjoy life because I dissect every part of my life. Everything, my race, my faith, my physical qualities and my physical weaknesses, the food that I eat, the medication I'm taking, the people I know, their families, animals, you know what I mean? The air that I'm breathing, the medications, everything. I dissect it and I count my days because I know that the world is a lot smaller than we think it is. Our options are very limited. Sure, you got a lot of options, but are those options really important? Are those options really options? You cannot live longer by your options. You cannot control your destiny by your options. You cannot control what happens to you or keep yourself rich or keep yourself, in your marriage or keep yourself happy or keep your children. Nothing belongs to you. It all belongs to God, and Satan has more power over you than you have over yourself. That's how small the world is. All this, there's more than two genders, and well, if you're not happy with yourself, maybe you want to be a girl, maybe you want to be a guy. If you're not happy with yourself, you should try marijuana. Smoke some marijuana every now and then. It ain't gonna hurt. If you're not happy with yourself, maybe you need to get out and get laid. If you're not happy with yourself, maybe you need to do more screwing and less worried about being happy. When was the last time you got laid? When was the last time you had a good BJ? You know what I'm saying? Try a hooker every now and then, Mr. Cruz. It ain't gonna hurt nothing. Bring condoms with you. Get yourself a good hooker. You ever try that? That ain't hurting nothing. God don't mind if you go out there and you get yourself some. At any cost. And Cruz, if you want to do the gay thing, I ain't hating, man. Try it sometimes. You might like it. You might find out that that's what's been holding you back all this time. You not catching up with your sexuality. But in closing, God is my sexuality. God is my faith. God is my gender. God is my outlook on life. He is my culture, my country. He is my father. And I don't want anything that God doesn't want for me. I don't care how many options television keeps throwing in our faces. I don't care how many different products are out there. How many different roads, too many levels of stupidity there is out there. Too many levels of vanity. I only want with what God wants from me. And if God don't want it from me, it's not important. God bless you, D. Roy Cruz, your Life Applications Officer. That video was too long, but I hope you watched it to the end. God bless.